Okay, so I sent you a TikTok that I think is very funny because I very much like seeing the rappers specifically as they age
Mhm.
and as they get older, and we get to see who they truly have evolved into, especially the ones. Well, I guess Big Boy wasn't necessarily, he wasn't like super hardcore. I mean, I guess he
Yeah.
was
I mean,
drug, he still had like a elevated sense to him compared to like a Jay-Z or a Jeezy or something like that. Like there was a swag
yeah.
to Big Boy, but it's interesting to see him as a nerd and
Let me
and
see.
old. Like, have you seen the videos of him with his grandbaby as a pop up? No, you haven't.
No,
It,
I'm gonna have
y'all, I'll
to
put
go
it.
down a rabbit hole.
You will have to, y'all. I'll put it in the description so that y'all can see.
I'm looking. Oh, hold on. This is him and a bird. Sure. Take your grandbaby to gig day.
The video I sent her is of him on Kid Cudi's podcast.
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Me either. And Kid Cudi asked him, "What's something that you nerd out about?" And Big Boy just starts randomly, like rambling on and on about Pokemon. But because he's so country, his country ass started calling it Pokemon. So he like, I keep a Pokemon ball on me.
I'm a Pokemaster.
He's a Pokemon master. And he
Oh
said
my
that he
god.
made Stank on you a Pokestop. So it'd be his words, not mine.
Oh,
It'd be a bunch of Asian kids across the street in the parking lot so that they can
collect
collect
Pokeball.
Pokemon. That made my day. I just had to share that. But yeah, there are videos of him with his grandbabies, taking them with him, when they do performances and stuff. It's just so
Oh,
cool
that's
to
cute.
see them evolve.
It is a really niche corner of the internet to watch rappers just do things that you never thought they would do.
Even like earlier this week, watching Jay-Z on the red carpet at the Met on the steps,
Mm-hmm.
like him, went through
Yeah.
like telling her to take her shades off, and like him being dad, like he didn't even
Very
care that he
dad.
was on the, you know, he wasn't concerned about them taking pictures of
Mm-hmm.
him. He was being daddy. Um,
Yeah. It's
but yeah, that
cute.
just that
I
made my
like it,
day.
yeah. That's
This
hilarious. I'm gonna have
is
to watch that
Shelby,
after. And this is Jess.
and welcome back to the League of Extraordinary Readers. We have church announcements.
Mm-hmm.
First, for the month of May, we are reading The Fervent Whites by Deshaun Charles Winslow. Funny enough, he is actually our origin story. We were
Mm-hmm.
asked to be guests on a podcast that I cannot remember the name of right now,
I
nor
don't
do I know if
either.
those young ladies are
I
still.
I
I
don't
don't know
think
where they
so.
are. But they they invited us to be on a podcast to interview him because they knew that we were big fans of his, and we
Mm-hmm.
said yes because it was an opportunity for us to interview him. And later on down the line, we decided to start the League of Extraordinary Readers. So we are very, very excited, one, that he
Yes.
has a new book coming out, but also that we are able to have him as a guest on this podcast. It's a very much a full circle moment for us as our
Yeah.
podcast is growing, and
Yeah.
we getting better and better at this and having bigger and bigger authors coming on. Like it's we're having a very
Yeah.
good time. Like
I'm
it's
excited.
a
Yeah.
lot is happening.
Mhm. I'm excited to have him on. I can't wait. It's like it'll be like a little family reunion. Low key,
Absolutely.
because yeah. And outside of that, Deshaun is a great writer, so I think everybody should pre-order the book. The book comes out in June, just as a disclosure, but you can always come back to the episode to watch us when we talk to him.
Right.
So yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely go
Um,
pre-order. If you haven't already read his other two books, I'll definitely link those down below so that you guys can go
mhm.
and purchase because they're all very, very good. Yeah, Jess, you have an event coming up, correct?
Yes. Yep. So next Saturday, May 16th, will be Paces and Pages. Yeah, I hope I said that right. I named my own event and don't remember if it's Pages and Paces or Paces and Pages, whichever.
All right, friend.
Come, bring your little audio book, walk with us through Santa Monica. I'm hoping this could be a quarterly thing. Like we hit different parts of the neighborhoods across LA. We'll meet at Cafe Rousseau in Santa Monica off of Colorado, which is a Black-owned coffee shop. There's 3 locations. Please make sure it's the Santa Monica location. I don't want you to go to Playa Vista and you're going to be like, where everybody at? We're in Santa Monica. So please make sure you put Santa Monica location, and then we'll get coffee, matcha, all the stuff. Take it on our walk, and we'll walk to Offhand Wine Bar around. We should get there around 11 and have sandwiches. If you want wine as well, go for it. But they have amazing sandwiches as well that we'll get. That'll be our end stop, and then that'll be it. But just a little nice, cute little walk. I know the girlies were saying they want more representation for audiobook walks around here because the ones that are around here, they're great, but it's mostly not us. So
It's
yeah,
mostly melanin deficient people. I can understand
yeah,
that. That's a
yeah.
politically correct way of being able to say that I understand. I was thinking about putting one on around here. I just don't, you know how I get in my head about
I
playing and
know.
stuff like that. Um but there's a park that has
Mm-hmm.
like a literal track, but it also has a
Hmm.
walking path that's about, I
Yeah.
think the inside is like a mile and a half. I think the outside is like
Mm-hmm.
almost 2.5 miles, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe if I like
Just do it.
put a flyer together, post it, and see
Yeah.
if people will show up.
Pull up. I think it should be. It's like a well, from what I've seen, it's a pretty low lift event. Like you just really got to show up, walk, eat after, then go home. It's like 2 hours
Right,
max, if
right.
anything. So and it's just fun. Like I know a lot of people don't enjoy putting together events. I don't mind it, and it's pretty easy. And my friend has been asking me for like dang near 6 months. Can we do an audiobook walk? Can we do an audiobook walk? And I'm like, girl, I don't think anybody's gonna do like I thought it. I don't know. I just was getting in my head as well. So I was like, whatever, I'll do it. And it should be fun. So that's that. It'll be the start time is 10:30, but if you want to get there at 10, look for parking, all the things, and then grab coffee, tea, matcha, whatever you want to get, and then head on the walk. You can get there at 10 o'clock. I'll be there. But yeah, that's about it.
I
Yeah.
guess the other thing, I guess we could do something like in an actual like town situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to think about that more because I guess in my head I'm like just in the
Yeah.
park, like I
Just
don't
walking
know.
around.
Yeah, we just walking around a
Yeah.
park. But like maybe if I collab with one of the like independent bookstores, we could like
Mhm.
stop at the bookstore. So okay, I gotta flesh out the thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's yeah, because this is not even at a park. This is like a neighborhood route. Like it's literally from technically Cafe Rousseau and Offhand Wine Bar are 9 minutes away. But I had to like literally make a full on loop to make it 45-minute walk. So at least you get a little good time to like get through a book, at least 30-40 minutes of getting through a book
Right.
and walking. And it's like a little scenic route. And then you come around, you loop around, and you end at another Black owned uh you know
Right. And then they gotta walk back.
business.
So
Exactly. And if I do it in another neighborhood, I'll probably do it like near a bookstore next time in a different neighborhood, that type of thing. So yeah, think about it differently and like give it a little fun. Like here's a landmark, here's this, here's that type of thing.
okay.
Yeah, you can do it. I
I'm
believe
gonna
in
have to
you.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those were our church announcements. Everything is link down below. Any links or whatever you may need. And yeah. So how was your
Yeah.
week, friend? It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling good. Work was stressing you out. So what's been going
Mm-hmm.
on?
Reading wise, I read some pretty good books. Let's see, what did I read? I read some. I know I read a lot. We'll start with The Hospital at the End of the World by Justin C. Key. That book, I enjoyed it a lot. I think I feel like it's a great conversation about AI in healthcare that we are not necessarily thinking about. I think when we think about AI in healthcare, we're thinking about, oh, it's helping them chart, it's helping them do this, it's helping like little stuff. But we're not thinking actually how it could turn into a disaster of like medicine, AI medicine being integrated into how we're doing things versus having a human actually checking us out or,
So
doing the things.
I know you don't watch The Pit, but they do cover that briefly in season 2, where one of the new I want you to watch it, so I don't want to like spoil it. But like a new attending comes in, and she is like all for AI, but it brings up this
Mm,
conversation of like, yeah, no, like this is not going to work because of X, Y, and Z. So I know it
yeah.
doesn't go into as much detail as probably the book does
Yeah.
because the show wants to. The Pit does a very, very good job at covering very big topics thoroughly without
Hmm.
derailing the entire show. Like everything, like it does it in a way similar to how we live life, where it's just like all of these
Okay.
things are happening in real life all at the same time, and the show
Yeah.
covers everything all at the same time also as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I meant to tell you that the other day. I saw it on your threads when you mentioned it on threads, and I meant to say like, oh yeah, you should
Mm,
watch The Pit then because there is a bit of
because
that in yeah.
yeah, no, I was thinking like when I was making my video because I was like House would be a good the vibe of House it kind of gave because the student is very like rigid and like he's on his ones and twos and it was always these strange like cases that he was dealing with a little bit. That's what I
Okay.
was thinking, but I was like, maybe the pit might be a better match. So maybe I should actually watch this soon
I
so I can
feel
see.
like The
Yeah,
Pit might be better because um The Pit
it's
just gives
current too.
yeah, it's current and it's just a little bit more versatile. Like you have a little bit more of everybody's personality
Mm-hmm.
where I think House was focused more on this
Oops.
particular character being an
Yeah.
asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with the hospital at the end of the world, we're talking about two different hospital sectors or systems. So you have the hip is it Hippocrates, and then you have we'll just say human led AI, human led science, and then AI led science. And we're following Hawk, who is the son of a doctor who also wants to be a doctor, but he wants to do more AI led science. And then his dad is more of human led. And his dad pretty much was trying to steer him away, not in the greatest way. I don't want to give too much details away, but trying to steer him away from AI medicine. And then suddenly, and this is in the synopsis, his father passes away. And then he flees to New Orleans, where there is pretty much only human led science down there. And the last place that there is human led science. So everywhere else is AI. And then here they have this little they have the city that is literally still moving more in a traditional route of things. And then I think it tackles a lot of friendship dynamics and abandonment, and there's a lot of different pivots into like Pac understanding why his father did the things that he did, understanding some secrets, and then understanding why his father may have not told him these secrets.
Okay.
And then friendships along the way get shattered, but I think it was also a reminder that he shouldn't be so rigid in what he's doing. and also remember the friendships and the memories that he has with his father, with his friends that may have eventually passed away, that he should keep up with that, actually give time to that, because he's so focused on this medicine and becoming a doctor and being, I guess in a sense, revered in some way, that he
Okay.
forgets about the people that he should be focusing on. So I thought it was a pretty good book. I will say, I think for folks, it will be an acquired taste. I don't think this is something that everybody will latch onto.
It
I
feels
also
like
will.
it feels like it's gonna get the same reaction that Sky Full of Elephants does.
I was gonna
Okay.
say it's probably gonna get that reaction of, not that such a visceral reaction of like, what is happening here, but more so like, I don't understand it. I can't see the through line through certain things. There was, and I also was thinking about this because I don't read so much science fiction. I read here and there, but not crazy. But I wonder, my critique of it was maybe it could have been 100 pages less than
Plus,
what it
okay.
was. But is that something that maybe I'm not interested in too much of the plot line to go further than, like, as it
Right,
goes
like
on,
that
it's
could
like,
be the science fiction part is, I always say the science fiction part of science fiction be making me feel dumb. Like, so is it that
yeah,
versus like something actually wrong with the book sort of thing?
yeah,
I get
yeah.
that.
So I was like, I mean, that's a critique for me, but personally, I think it's a good conversation overall. I think he did a good job, and I like how his writing is. So I'm interested in seeing like what his past stuff was, because he did anthologies. He was in the anthology with like Jordan Peele, It's an Honor You Do, and N.K. Jemisin.
Out my mind.
Yeah, he did that one, and he had another one as well. So I'm curious to see what he did in the past, because this is also his first sci-fi book, because he writes mostly like horror and spec fic. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's a good book. I think if and it got real medical terms. I got a little squeamish here and there. I was like, ooh, it's a lot.
Y'all don't
He was
take
showing.
that with a grain of salt, because just everything's squeamish for her. Don't.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, he is a doctor, so the author is a doctor. For
Yeah.
those that don't know, he's a psychiatrist. So he went to medical school and did all his things, and he was flexing just a little bit. I was like, okay, go ahead.
Listen, you you could say anything to Jess, and it sounds too scientific, and she gonna be impressed for real.
Yeah.
It don't
Mm-mm.
take much, y'all.
You
So
know.
he could have
So that
said
was.
the scientific term for your neck bone, and she would have been like, "Ew."
Mm-hmm. I'm not watching it. I'm not. I was like, oh, okay, next. It's a lot going
Shame,
on.
shame, shame. My friend do not do the spooky and gory stuff, and it don't
Mm-mm.
even be gory for real.
I'm trying. Like, I've been doing pretty good, I would say. Because I could have gave up at one part. I was like, oh, that is,
I
but
read
I made it.
anything.
I made it through.
I've been in the mood. I've been wanting something spooky, and I haven't
Yeah.
came across anything just yet. I am rereading something right now, but I know that that's not going to spook me in the way that I'm looking
The
for.
the book that you guys read last month, by Tanya
Oh, that's
Thompson.
next month.
Oh, it's next month. Okay.
Yes, next month. I'm actually going to be able to meet her this weekend. Actually, she's going to be
Cool.
at the Twisted Spine. It's a horror bookstore in Brooklyn.
You
Um,
reminded me, she's gonna be here too this month. I need to
yeah.
RSVP. Yeah. Yeah.
So check your calendar. Check for Tia Williams for her book tour.
I
Check
saw
and see
that
when
too.
she's okay. Because I
Yeah,
got
it's
tickets for Mom and I.
June 23rd. So it's a couple days after I get back. So I probably will go to that. And it's at the
Okay.
Barnes and Nobles at the Grove,
Okay.
which is it's fine.
I meant
They
to send
get
that to you the other day, but I got tickets for Mom and I. But yeah, I'm gonna go on Saturday. so that I can grab a copy of the book and um meet her.
Nice.
And then before you finish the rest of your week, because I just finished Sing Unbury Sing.
Yeah.
Now I really want a ghost story. Like I really want like a ghost, really like you know, because the Johnson 4 fell kind of flat with that.
It did. We'll get into that, y'all.
Yeah, and like I can't think of
thought that was
anything
gonna
else off the top.
give.
I thought it was too, and I can't think of anything else that really has a like a ghost in it that's gonna give you
And you
know
finished Beloved too, so you was just
right.
on
So
a
I
roll.
really
Yeah. What's another ghostish? I mean, I'm looking at Bewitching. I don't think that's a ghost story. I think that's something else. Me and
I don't
Sarah
know.
went
I'm
to
gonna have
that.
to look. I mean, unless I reread Model Home, but we know that I can't even say that out loud. That's not gonna.
Yeah. No, it's not. That's not gonna give
So I'm
what
gonna
it's
have to
supposed.
do some. I'm gonna have to do some Googles
Or
because I want a ghost.
who was it? Victor Laval? Any of his books, maybe?
Oh, I'm actually reading The Devil in Silver right now. That's what
Oh, that is true.
I'm
Yeah.
rereading that, and like it's giving me like spooky vibes. But much like Percival Everett, Victor Laval is a troll. So I've
Yeah.
been more. He's gonna make me laugh more than he's actually gonna creep me out, and I think I actually want to be like scared.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a book that I'm looking at that I'm trying to remember. Did
Because
you read?
The Devil in Silver is actually being adapted. I think it's the show started already. I'll probably just wait until it's over and binge it.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
Oh no. Speaking of Beloved,
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends was reading it with me and she was just like, and friend, I know that you're probably listening to this. This is no tea, this is no shade. And I said this to her. I guess because I've read Beloved so many times and I know the story and I've seen the movie that I never realized how difficult it is to recognize that Beloved is the baby that Setha killed.
Yeah, I only read it once, and this year will be my second time, and
So
so
like
yeah, I can
there's
see how
a
that is.
but there's a part where Setha talks about how the headstone says beloved because she had to, in order to get it, she had to have sex with the man that engraved the
Mm-hmm.
headstone, right? And
Yeah.
that all she remembers the preacher saying is dearly beloved. So she had beloved, right? And when the girl comes and she asks what her name is, she says beloved. And then later on, Denver asks her like, why is your name beloved? And she mentions the headstone. Like that's all that I can see. So in my
Mm-hmm.
head, I'm like, okay, 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
That all made sense to me. But I never realized how difficult that was for people to like. That was something with reading it that has always been very clear to me.
I
And then like beloved asks about her earrings. Tell me about your earrings.
mm-hmm.
Like the last, and she didn't say like the last time I saw you, but like
Mm-hmm.
your earrings, right? Like so it was
Mm-hmm.
like there were clues.
There were, but I think also as someone that read it one time and the first time I read it, I was like, my brain.
Right. And again,
I
this is not me being fun. Like I'm
Yeah,
genuinely trying to like create open space
understand.
here to
No.
understand so that when I am talking to people about it, like I can empathize and have like an open
Mm-hmm.
conversation and not make anybody feel inferior because that's not my intent. It genuinely is just something that was always very clear to
Clicking
me.
to you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just something
Yeah.
that even the first time I read it, I always knew who Beloved was.
No, so I think this is where when we talk about reading comprehension and how much we read and what we read and with the vigor that we read, I think sometimes, and there's no shade to anybody, but that's why I say I don't think Beloved is a starting point for anybody if you're just getting back into reading. And when I read it, I was reading, but I wasn't reading books like that. Like, I wasn't reading those type of books. I wasn't reading books
Right.
that were challenging me, that I could be like, okay, this is a stepping stone to Toni Morrison, or this is like, it just didn't click to me, right? I was out here
Right.
just raw dogging life, basically. And now that I understand, I can be like, okay, there are some things that will fly over your head because you're so enthralled with like understanding the writing, understanding like what's going on, the style, the this, the that, and then you're just like, things are flying over your head because you're
Right.
just so consumed with trying to just keep up with the story and
Right.
understand the story. I think that's what happened with me. I wouldn't say I'm like I was dumb or anything. It's just it wasn't clicking.
So like with one of my friends, and even with the reading group, right? Like the things that
Mhm.
people were asking, like it made me realize how much of Toni Morrison just clicks to me. Like how much of it
Mhm.
just makes sense, that it catches me off guard. It makes me question myself some of the things that people ask, because it
Mhm.
makes me feel like I might be in the wrong, like I'm thinking too hard. Does that make sense?
No, that makes total sense. And you know what? For you, also your experiences, your mom was, you were exposed to Toni at a very young age, right? And so you have the experience to keep reading Toni over and over and experiencing her over and over, that it's at this point you and her are in conversation all the time, right? And for someone like me, I wasn't necessarily exposed to Toni in high school. I wasn't exposed to Toni in middle school. I wasn't exposed
Right.
to Toni at home. I
Right.
learned Toni Morrison on my own accord, because it just wasn't what was exposed to me was Christian books, if you're being honest, or something else. So it's a different experience for me,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
So like that makes me, that I have an idea for something and we'll flesh it out like off air. But
Yeah.
it made me, I realized like I have to,
Mm-hmm.
I can lead people through Toni Morrison. I can. I have that
Yeah.
ability. I just need to think about how I'm approaching it, because I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm approaching it from the standpoint that, because for me it just clicks, that for everybody else it's just clicking. And that's not it.
Yeah. We need to
That's
be
not
on
what's
like
happening.
3 different
Right.
reads
Because like
so you could
even
get there.
when reading Beloved this time, like I
Mm-hmm.
think I use Toni Morrison as my gauge for my level of reading, right? And
Mm-hmm.
immediately I can tell that my comprehension skills have elevated, because my flow through it was a lot easier, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't stumbling, I wasn't necessarily having to slow down, I wasn't second guessing myself, I was able to just flow, right? Because even reading Toni Morrison, like even reading her multiple times, even still there is a you still need to get accustomed to the lay of the land, right? So I can say like, oh, I'm growing, I can feel the growth. But there was just this ease this time.
Which is good. It's like,
Yeah, but it was
yeah.
like I kind of puffed my chest out a little bit, because I was like,
Yeah. This is, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm one
Mm-hmm.
of them now. Like it was one of those like, oh, this is not, oh, okay, I got this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also had to remind myself to like take pride in that. Like, oh, this is ease, but also I can still learn from this, because I think this time around the highlight of this read for me was Denver
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
her
like how,
experience with
yeah.
her mother and her experience with this ghost and this like evolution of motherhood, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
being your mother's daughter and how your mother's ghosts also impact you,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So,
No,
but
that
okay.
makes sense. Yeah, no, I think you just gotta approach it like everybody ain't there. It's
Yeah,
just,
cuz
it's, yeah, it's, that's what it is. And like for me, like I'm excited to read it this year because I want to see, like, I've read Sua, Jazz, I haven't finished Tar Baby, but I do need to
That's what I
revisit
meant to
that.
tell you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The audiobook, the full audiobook for Jazz has been re-released.
Yes, somebody put it in
Yes.
I think the Discord.
Uh-huh.
I think I meant to text that to you as well. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shoot. So I would definitely reread Jazz. Well, honestly, all her books are just gonna be rereads at
Right.
the end of the day.
That's
But
the
yeah,
next one for the
that batch.
yeah, so I'll
Mm-hmm.
be immersive reading it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm
realize.
excited. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's a learning curve for folks. That's why I heard like
Yeah.
she's one of one. Like literally one of one. Like you can't there's nobody I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's nobody else. She is the blueprint when it comes to writing. Like who else do you think about that is like we're sitting here like what challenges you? Like James Baldwin challenges me, right? But I can get
Honestly,
into that easy.
after reading Sing Unburied Sing,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Jasmine Ward. There were things in that book that I
Yes, that's
noticed
true.
off the top of my head last night
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, oh, things
Yeah.
that because I've read it a couple of times, but I think off the cuff of reading Beloved, off the cuff of reading Toni, I
Mm-hmm.
was just picking up on different things where I was like, I know who she
Mm-hmm.
is, right? I know what she can do. I know what she's capable
Mm-hmm.
of. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Jasmine, yeah, Jasmine.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true.
Her, I think Sibo Campbell is gonna get there. I think he does
Mm-hmm.
that thing with the senses. I think him and Jasmine Ward both do that thing where they capture all five of your senses at once
Mm-hmm.
and can transport you in a way that not all authors can. Um
You know
who
what?
else?
I
I
take
think
that back.
Tiari does that.
Tiari does an amazing job of that. Yeah. You know, now that you mentioned Tiari and how I told you like I had to read American Marriage a couple
Mm-hmm.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
see the
was around
vision,
that
right?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, you see the vision, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That is a phenomenal book. That is a
Yeah.
phenomenal book. That is
Yeah.
a phenomenal piece of literature.
Yeah. And when you sit back and think about it, you're like, it was me. I was dumb.
It was me. That's the name of this episode. It was me.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I derailed
We
us.
derailed so bad, but we haven't been here in a couple weeks. Stay with us, guys.
Right. I'm
Okay.
sorry, y'all.
Okay, what else did I read? There is There is Rio Grande at Home. Jesus, let me get the right name of the book. There is a Rio Grande.
I
There
want
is
y'all to
at
know.
home. It's
I
not
want
even
y'all to
home, it's
know.
heaven.
Oh, there's Rio Grande in
In
heaven.
heaven. Mm-hmm.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know that Jess and I talk about books in our text messages. Titles be all wrong.
All wrong every day. Every single time. Yes, I read that for book club. That the short stories, I think individual stories, there were certain ones that were good. But throughout the whole entire book, I think there were some that were just boring. Respectfully. It wasn't giving what I thought it was going to give. I do like the subject matter of immigration. So if you're looking for topics about immigration and when it comes to immigrating from Central America specifically and that passageway and that representation, I think it does a great job with certain stories. But as a collection, I don't think it it personally, as somebody that likes to read short stories all the time, I don't think it was like woo. There was like the integration of like spec fic and like technology, and I like that
Okay.
because there was one story where this guy, he brought his father back to life through a robot. He bought this robot, spent all his money after his father died, and brought
Telling
him
you
back
right
to
now, when my time come, I'm telling you right now. Last night, my mother. Okay, I mentioned that I was reading Sing Unbury Sing. It was the book club pick,
mm-hmm.
right? And there's a scene in there where Leonie's boyfriend's father calls her a nigger bitch.
Oh,
And
yes.
I was recording a reading vlog for it, and I said that all of the humans could be dead and gone, and the robots could be rising, and they still will be pulling my foot out of his ass. Okay? So I want you to know that in that same scenario, I would still be whooping somebody's ass for putting me into a goddamn robot.
Because, yes, he put.
But
He
my
put.
mother heard me saying that, and she got up and went in her room because she was sick of my shit. I said,
You
I still
still
be
be
whooping
right.
his ass in every lifetime.
Yeah. I was
In
like,
front
why
of
would
my
you?
children, in front of my children, you
Mm-hmm.
said that? When I tell you
Yeah.
the very last human would just be done decaying. Do you hear me? And I would still be
You still be the
beating the
last one on Earth.
bricks,
Right here.
whooping
Yeah.
his ass.
I do need to reread that one too, for sure.
It was a good
Because,
time.
man,
But yeah,
man.
don't put me in no goddamn robot, you hear?
Yes, he was. So, you know what? It also connected me back to the hospital at the end of the world because there's also a robot companion in that book too.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Anyways, um, puts his father back into a robot, or I guess semblance or spirit of his father in a robot. But he is gay, and he always wanted his father to accept him. And then, like, he comes out to his father kind of unexpectedly. Like, he started bringing around his friend, all this other stuff, and then at the end of the story, his father catches him having sex with the robot father catches him having sex with his partner, and he thought the robot was being like nice to him and everything, like before, like he was accepting of him. No, that robot customer. That was not funny. It was really sad. Yeah, that was the most interesting story.
That sounds like that sci-fi that T.M. Richardson did that I was like, this is
Oh
a little
yeah, I remember.
weird.
Yeah,
This is a little strange.
yeah. This one was, yeah, and then I went on to read Edwidge Daisy Cat's short stories, Crick Crack, which I learned from Tabby because my best friend's Haitian, for those that don't know. One of my best friends. I asked her, I was like, translate this. What does this mean, girl? She was like, it's like when you're giving tea. So you'll say like crick and then you respond crack. Like it's a like tea, like breaking bread to talk about tea. Like I got gossip for you. Yeah. So I was like, oh man. You know what? I would say Edwidge does not get enough credit for how good her pen is and how good she is at writing short stories. This is my second short story by her. The first story was phenomenal. Beautiful, beautiful writing. And I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I'm buddy reading that with and that's really good. Like she read Everything Inside. I haven't read Everything Inside in years, but it's one of my favorite books. I should revisit soon. She, after reading that, she was like, I have to read these short stories by her. So I was like, yes, let's do it together. So it's a really good read. And then I started listening to Africa is Not a Country by Dipo Falian. He's a Nigerian author.
Africa
Is not a
is
country.
okay.
And that's good too. It's just observing how the Western world paints Africa as this place there that's poor and has no like civilization, or they're always like, it's just a specific, you know how they paint Africa. It's just a specific
Right.
way. So it's breaking down different parts of the region and going into that. So I think that's really fascinating. And then what else did I read? I think that is outside of what we're going to talk about soon. Everything I listen to.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Or read. Listen and read. But yeah. What else? I also watched that cult documentary.
Nature Boy?
Nature Boy.
Do you not remember? Were you not like?
I remember.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the
I
good
wasn't
thing
like,
about. That's what happens when you work with your best friend, because she can just hear the thoughts that are in my head. She knew what I was saying. I didn't have to. She knew what I was saying.
yeah, I wasn't deep into their stuff, but I remember him being on the internet, and I was like, this is weird. What's yeah? So
As
when it
fuck.
came out, so I was like, oh, but I heard that they didn't put everything in, so I might watch the YouTube documentary one.
I'm not gonna watch the YouTube one because I remember a lot of the stuff that they didn't put in there, and I don't need to.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah. I wasn't
I
a
am
deep,
okay.
yeah. I
As
totally get it.
a as a woo woo adjacent bitch, I remember a lot of that. I'm not as far deep as a lot of those people were. Never will be. Right? I read too many
Hmm.
books to whatever. I just don't need to relive a lot of that stuff. Like I no. It was ridiculous. And I really feel like a lot of them are going to end up back in cults of some sort, because the way that they talk doesn't feel like they are free of certain thinking.
Oh yeah. It just
If
sounds like they looking for the next leech.
Yeah, like they still are searching for community in some ways. And that's sad. That's
Yeah.
very sad.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's about it for me. What about you?
Everything has been a blur. Because the focus has been my health. Um, I did start the love songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, and I
Oh
understand the
yes.
hype. I'm only like 70 pages in, but I think next week that's gonna be like my focus. I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned The Devil in Silver, so I probably want to finish that this weekend. I also want to start and finish The Fervent Whites.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. They changed my
Okay.
meds, so I've been sleeping a lot, and it's not been like, I mean, my body needs the rest. Um, so we won't complain, but it's not been a like, oh, I'm sleeping so well that I can get up and function. It's been a, if I'm sitting still too long, I'm going to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
I haven't really been able to do half of the things that I've wanted to do, because I've been sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, I think I have 3 books going right now. So, The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois is a side quest with a book club. So, I'm trying to read like a certain amount every week. The Devil in Silver, I can probably put a dent in that tonight. I do
Mm-hmm.
want to start Leave Your Mess at Home. Me and
Oh
Kita are
yes. Yes. That is
me and Kita
this
are
month
buddy
too.
reading that, and I need to
Mm-hmm.
start that tonight. So this
Yeah.
weekend I'll probably put a dent in. I'll finish The Devil in Silver, and then I'll start Leave Your Mess at Home. And then I started a romance called Velvet and Venom that I'm enjoying. You know, I love me a crazy man on page, and he was down to the strip club,
Feel
saw
like
her. You probably saw me post it on
no.
Threads.
Outside of that, I feel like I either downloaded it at some point and forgot to read it.
I think it was a part of like the free something like
Hmm.
that, because I have all 5 books in the series and I don't remember.
Downloading.
Right.
Or
So I think
even
it
yeah.
was, so I think it was like a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
But I started that and that's been pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna start and put a dent in Leave Your Mess at Home. I think I'm gonna immersive read that. Um, or we'll see. Maybe I'll just read it with my eyes and take that one slow and steady. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. I do want to get into A Guardian and a Thief because that was way better than I anticipated it to
Yes.
be.
Yeah.
So for the
It
people at
was
the back of the
interesting.
church, A Guardian and a Thief by Megha Majumdar,
Yeah. Majumdar, yeah.
was our book pick for the month of April. And I don't know about you, Jess, but I usually am very weary about Oprah's book club pick.
I can see that. Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
usually very up in arms because and I said this I think in my reading vlog.
Mm-hmm.
Although Oprah is very well read, Oprah is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And she is very far removed from the middle class life that I live, right? Um so her perspective on life is going to be way different than mine. So what she considers to be great literature is going to be different from what I consider to be great literature, and could if you think about a Venn diagram, we could meet in the middle somewhere, right? There are going to be pieces of literature that we agree on, because sometimes good literature just is good literature, right? A good story is going to be a good story, is going to be a good story. But this one in particular, I would really like to pick her brain. Like, I really would like to know what she found so great about this one, because there's a bit in there where I'm like, baby, this directly about you.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, this is a callback to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Just the other month.
Mm-hmm.
Just the
Mm-hmm.
other month, baby. This is a callback. Um, so before we get into what it's about, a couple of things that stood out to me were the writing style, how
Yes.
the story was told in this very list format. I thought that was very cool. And I thought that the fact that we really only got the names of um the children
Mm-hmm.
and like certain people got names, but not the main characters. So
Yeah.
like Boomba, that was a nickname.
Yeah.
But Mishti, like she was a little kid, so she got a name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the neighbors, like people on the outskirts, like they got names. But I thought that was cool. The way that it ended hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I was not expecting that ending.
Me
I don't know
either.
what I expected because I was reading with my eyes and I also was listening to it here and there. And once I think I was cooking and listening to it and I was like, pause, pause. What is happening? I was not expecting that. But I will agree with you. What I do like about this book the most when I opened it is the format. I like the
Yeah.
format of how it was going. At first, it feels intimidating because it's like, oh, it's going and it's going and going. But I like the format of how it was. Like, what was the reason to like, like use letters? And like you were saying, what was the reason to like only name the outside people, like what were like I can have a theory about it, but I wonder like was it just like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to just do this, or was there like something
I think it's
specific?
intentional. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
because when you think about um so the story takes place in India, in Kolkata.
Yeah.
And it's in the near future where global warming has taken over, right? Pollution, all of this. The weather is out of whack, there's flooding, there's famine. And Ma, Dadu, and Mishti are set to leave to go to America. So there's a conversation going on about immigration. They have to get to the U.S. Embassy to
Embassy.
get their passports and their visas. They get them. But there's like all of this stuff going on to try to get there, right? They have to travel in extreme heat. There's a riot with the cabs. They're trying to get on the bus. There's like all of this stuff going on. The police officers don't really care. There are robot dogs. Like, there's a conversation about
Everything.
everything
Mm-hmm.
happening. Um, they get home. We learn some things about Ma. She works or was working in a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned that she had been stealing some food for her family to eat. Which in turn leads to someone from the shelter breaking into her house, and stealing her pocketbook that has their passports and visas in it. Thus, we go on this journey trying to get those documents back. We learn about the person who stole from them. Um, and we like go on this journey with all of these characters. I think the reason the story is told the way that it is because one, it doesn't really matter who the person is that all of this
Mm-hmm.
is happening to. I
Yeah.
think that's it, right? Because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what your status is. It doesn't matter what job you have. You're not more important because you're able to migrate to America. It doesn't matter that you have a passport and visa or that you were the manager of the shelter. It doesn't matter that you have a sick little brother at home or that you're trying to get your parents over here to live in the
Mm-hmm.
city with you. It doesn't matter. Like all of that stuff doesn't matter. The bigger picture is that all of this is going to affect us all, right?
Regardless of everything.
Regardless. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the reason she gave like the children, mostly the children names, is because they're the innocent in it, right? Like
Yeah.
that's who's gonna be left are the children. That's who we should take care
Mm-hmm.
of. That's who is important, right? As far as the list, that one I don't really know. I
Yeah.
think it's a matter of maybe just order of
Yeah.
like here's the order of things, here is how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
As if like telling it straight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Just the way the storytelling, like even when you listen to the audiobook, there's when you actually listen to how it is read,
Mm,
and when you're also reading it as well, it feels pretty straightforward. It's a
right,
very simple story, but with a
right,
very complex message in the
right.
sense of like what is being told. Like we are talking about environmental issues, we're talking about capitalism, we're talking about everything. But like the story is such a simple story, and it's only like, look at this. This is how big the book is.
The tiny
It ain't
books
that
always
long.
pack a punch.
It's always the tiny books.
Always.
Um and I outside of Oprah's book club pick, it won an award. It wasn't Pulitzer. It was something else. But I think it was National Book Award, and that's how I found out about it because I was like, oh yeah, national long listed for National Book Award, and I think she was shortlisted too.
Okay.
By the time when I bought this, so I think this I enjoyed the book a lot. I think there were so many, like you were saying, so many conversations and the intentionality and how straightforward it is, and just it's a great conversation, especially if you want to use this for your book club or something. I also noticed, and this is just me reading across genres and diversely in general, like background, whatever the case may be, there's a specific way that East Asian writers write that also makes me feel sometimes cozy. I don't know how to
Okay.
explain it. In a sense of like, it feels, there's a specific like flow to things that I'm noticing
I think
within
that's a
different
cultural
ones.
thing. Like
Yeah.
they even in their language, like they have a very sing song. They sing, right?
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
like when we talk about Trinidadian people, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
Guyanese people, like they sing when they speak. Like I think that's where
Yeah.
that's from culturally. So I could see that. That's
Yeah.
definitely rooted in how they
Yeah.
speak and
All the things.
how
I
they do
liked it.
things,
Yeah.
how they
It
tell
was nice.
stories. Like,
How they
yeah,
said
I know what you mean.
it's very communal, it's very I don't know. You know what I mean. But yeah. I liked it.
I don't know. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I personally I think it's a good one. I think this one is a good one to challenge your thoughts
Yeah, I
on a
think the
lot of
author has another
topics.
book. I don't know what it's called.
Let's see. Okay. Here you go. Yes, it is a burning.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. What is
that
this
looks
one?
familiar.
It does. It's set in India that follows three characters whose lives become entangled after a terrorist attack on a train. Oh, that actually sounds really interesting.
That does sound good.
And funny enough, I stumbled upon this TikTok of this girl that's backpacking through India, and she was saying how each part of India is so different in terms of dialect, culture. Just she was like, it's a like a melting a pot of everything that people just would not imagine. She was like, I think people see this vision of India that it's like dirty and very poor and all this other stuff, but like there's so many different dialects, there's so much like vastness to the
I don't know.
country as a whole.
I think because I just be looking stuff up and I'll be watching documentaries that's not shocking to me. But
Yeah,
I get the point.
yeah, I was like, like I see, like for me again, like how I was mentioning Africa and how they put out a specific image. I also know like there's intentionality with the type of images that are being put out there. So I've always felt like there's probably like a whole bunch of beautiful different parts of India that is like hidden. They do the same thing in the Caribbean, they do the same thing everywhere. So I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So she's backpacking and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that's pretty dope.
Okay. The other book that we read together was The Johnson Four. That is
Mm-hmm.
by Christina Hemmings Reed. Sister girl, I can tell that you usually write YA
Yeah.
because this book was like 150 pages too long. And in the beginning you had me. The first chapter of this book is very, very good. Like it pulls you in. I was
Mm-hmm.
convinced that this was going to be exactly what I intended it to be. So
Mm-hmm.
it opens up with the Johnson brothers at a audition, and they we think that they're gonna get signed, but they don't because one of their
Mm-hmm.
brothers is obviously autistic on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Um, and their father is like, you take them all or none of them. And as they're on their way home, I did not like how the two other brothers started hitting that baby. Cause the way I would have pulled that car over and everybody would have got beat.
Mm-hmm.
Stop hitting on my son.
Factual.
Stop hitting on my children. Do you hear me? But they pull over on the side of the road because it's in the 60s.
Yeah, 60.
Um, so everybody can use the bathroom. The son that's on the spectrum wanders off in the woods, and they find him talking to this ghost, this very creepy looking ghost whose head is being held up by his intestines. And his name is Christmas,
Christmas.
and he is tapping his foot, snapping his fingers, talking about something. Oh, he is really good. I used to also as well be a performer. Can I come with you? Which very much put me in the mind of Donkey from Shrek when he was like, "Can I stay with you, please?"
Mm-hmm.
And the daddy said no, and Christmas got in the trunk anyway. And Christmas goes home with them, and all hell breaks loose from there. What I
Yeah.
thought was gonna happen was Christmas was going to possess one of the brothers, specifically the brother that was on the
That was,
spectrum,
yeah.
and turn them into this popular boy band, hence the Johnson Four. What actually happens is not that. And I felt like it is pitched as a story of a boy band slash ghost story, and we don't get either. Like
We don't.
the parts that Christmas is in we could have left him out. Like they didn't require him. Like I don't know.
I it just went, I think in my head I thought we were gonna get murderous possession type of like that's the mindset I was in, because when you read the synopsis you're like, and then at the beginning Christmas is like, yeah, and all hell breaks loose and I did
Right.
this, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm with it. Like what makes it more annoying is like the writing is good, the engagement from the first like couple of chapters, like I would say up to like chapter 18, 19, that's when things kind of drop off. But like there was a strong like follow through that we were
Right.
with this, and it was funny in some parts. Like I don't know what I thought it was gonna give, but I thought this is gonna be groundbreaking. So it was gonna be
And
groundbreaking. And when I finished the book, I said I had to start, and start. I was like, you
yeah, I
lost
had
me a
to
little bit.
force myself through the second half of the book. Like one,
Yeah.
it just we lost the plot somewhere in there where it was just like, well, what is this actually about anymore? And it made me
Mm-hmm.
feel. Did you read Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi?
No, I didn't. No.
So I had a similar experience with that where they pitched that as a fantasy
Mm.
when really it was a historical fiction with some magical realism.
I was
Right.
gonna
There's a
say,
big
yeah,
difference. there's
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
big difference. There's
There's
a
this
very,
huge
very big difference.
here. Yeah,
Very big difference, right?
yeah,
This is similar. Whereas
yeah.
you told me that this is a ghost story where this is a historical fiction that happens to have a ghost in it.
So yeah, and how you said like we could tell she is a children's author, children's book author. Absolutely. I think there's something, and this is again no shade to the authors out there, but Elizabeth Acevedo, I remember she put out her last book was an adult fiction book, and I tried to read it. Mind you, Elizabeth Acevedo eats down on a good YA book. She does. She does her thing with YA books. Similar to how we talk about, Tiffany D. Jackson and Jason Reynolds and how they captivate young readers and us as adults within young adults fiction, great.
Mm-hmm.
But it was something about her writing adult fiction. I tried. I had to DNF
Yeah.
because it just was not landing. And I've heard that from several people. It just was not good. And I was like, I love you, girl, but I think we gotta stick to YA.
Right. Sticks
We
to
gotta
the
stick to
sticks to
the
the lakes and the
YA.
rivers that you used to.
Yeah. It just and it actually had like I didn't finish it, but I think it had like from what I remember, like a little magical realism as well. I don't know if that's a thing. Who knows? But it was it was not. Yeah.
It won't hit for nothing.
Nah. I think the Johnson 4 had so much potential. I think I love the cover. I love the writing up until a certain point. The plot just dropped off. That book could have been 300 pages less.
Not no. You ain't wrong.
It could have been 300. But I don't know. I wanted to be a fan of it.
Yeah, I cared about the characters in the family. I just think because it was
Mm-hmm.
pitched as a ghost story that I had different expectations, so that made it so that I did not have a good time.
Yeah.
And
Like
I think that there's
yeah.
something we could say about that too, right? Like I think there are a lot of books that people are not enjoying because it was pitched to them a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually is a very good point because when I look at like people saying when they come back onto the internet, like who recommended me this book? You said it this way, and it was not this
Uh-huh.
way. But
Uh-huh.
it's like, well, I mean, yeah, we tried, but it's also perception. Like people perceive things completely different. So
True.
you're really going
True.
based off of opinion. You're literally just going based off of like opinion
Yeah,
versus
but
what it
the front of
actually
that
is.
book say a ghost story, friend.
Yeah,
I'm going based off of what the book told me. I didn't get
I
that book
know.
recommendation from anybody. I'm talking about what
I
the
know.
publishing company said to me, and I read all of the time.
What is the facts? They gave us facts and they are
The
not
facts that they
factual.
gave me in that synopsis said that it was a ghost story about a
And it
boy
was.
band. They were a band
Mm-hmm.
for 50 pages, if that.
It really worked. The band broke up so quick. I was like, is this
And they
the
was
Jackson
barely a
5?
band. They were barely a band, sister.
They were barely a band. And then all the characters, I think all the characters, like you were saying, you cared about all the characters individually. All of them had their own stories. And I think I see where she was trying to do is like put this through line between all the characters and give them stories. But like, I didn't care about every last
I
one of
didn't
them.
need to go to Vietnam.
No,
I didn't need the one brother to be homosexual. I
I
did not
didn't.
need to follow Christmas across the
Wait.
world as a ghost. None of this had
Yeah.
anything to do with a ghost story and a boy band.
Yeah.
You told me it was a boy band and a ghost story.
And the mom and the daddy having a
I didn't
whole
need to know about her
situation.
infidelity. I also didn't need the
And
daddy giving her head randomly at the house. I didn't need that.
or her going to where she went to Lake Tahoe or something.
Right.
They
I
had a
didn't need to
whole
know her and that
vacation.
Asian man was hunching on each other. I didn't need that.
I was at the Sprouts listening to this part. I was like, what is happening? I'm just getting my vegetable.
Came here for a ghost story that involved a boy band. There was no band, and the ghost was out doing anything. He was talking to racist ghosts. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Somebody lied to me.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
I don't know, man. And I'm looking at some people a little side eye for them saying this is one of the greatest books that they read. Like, or like I'm seeing 5 stars. I'm seeing 4.75 stars. I'm seeing
that 4.75. That be making the back of my booty hole itch. I don't like that. I don't like that.
3.75.
I don't like that 0.75. It makes me so mad.
I love the 7.5. It's like it's almost there, but it's not there. You see what I'm saying? Like it's right there.
Y'all get on my nerves real bad.
It was made for the indecisive people like me. Like, oh yeah, it was a 3.75.
And that's why it makes me mad, because I know personally that you are indecisive. And every time I try to get Jessica to make a decision, she'd be like, you do it. I meant to show you that I got new microphones.
Oh, those are cute. And those are the good ones from DJI.
Yeah.
I like how we say DJI and it's DJI.
But I think because of the alphabet over there, that I think for them it is G.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
But you know, the babies don't know how to pronounce silhouette, so I couldn't imagine that they would know how to say. I don't know why everybody is up in arms that the children don't know how to say silhouette or gauche.
Somebody tried to drop that in our. I forgot. I didn't watch the full video, but somebody dropped it in my group chat, and she was like, "Why? Why can't the kids read?" I was like, "The parents can't read, guys."
Silhouette, extraordinary, and gauche. Now, somebody did say, they were like, well, what does a silhouette of clothing mean? And I said, the call coming from inside the house, because the people don't even know that that's the correct sentence. The adults don't know that a silhouette of clothing is the correct, that you use that correctly together. They don't know that, but they want to judge the babies for not being able to pronounce silhouette. Go to hell directly. Don't pass go, don't collect $200. Go directly to hell.
We're doomed as a society sometimes.
But then also, I went on a date with a man that didn't know how to pronounce chamomile. So here we are. Okay? That baby said chamomile with a straight face. He also did not know what cathartic meant. So, or how to spell it to look it up. So,
everybody's just out here just doing the most. And that's really what it is. Everybody's down
but
here.
Yeah, somebody was like, who even says silhouette of clothing?
So many people do.
I was like, what are we talking about? How else would you say the shape of
a garment?
Right, of the dress or the pants or the how else would you? All right. Okay. We
like
have
both sides.
You have praise for this week. Who are we praising?
We are praising Earl Lovelace, who is a Trinidadian, quite well-known Trinidadian novelist, journalist, playwright, and short story writer. He's one of I would say one of the classics when it comes to when you talk about Caribbean literature. He comes up a lot in conversations. So Earl Lovelace was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and he was born in Toco, Trinidad and Tobago. He actually worked at the Trinidadian Guardian as a proofreader from 1953 to 1954. And then he went into the Department of Forestry from 1954 to 1956, and then went on to do other things after that. But he began writing while stationed in the village of Valencia in northeastern Trinidad as a forest ranger. And so from there, he took his talents to writing his first novel, While Gods Are Falling, which won the Trinidad and Tobago Independence Literary Competition, sponsored by BP. BP Oil Company.
Gas
Interesting.
company?
I think so. Let me look. Yep, the gas company. That is very fascinating. There's something there. And then he went on to the While Gods Are Falling would be published in Britain by Collins, which is a publishing company, in 1965. And then he went on to get his I believe his MA in English at Howard University, and then he went to Johns Hopkins University. Actually, I messed that up. He studied at Howard University from 1966 to 1967, and then went to Johns Hopkins and got his MA in English.
Okay.
And then from there, he went on to teach at Federal City College, which is now the University of District of Columbia. And then from there, in 1977 to 1987, he lectured in literature and creative writing at the University of West Indies in St. Augustine. And then he won a Guggenheim Fellowship in 1980, where he spent the year as a visiting writer at the International Writing Program at the University of Iowa. I always find it interesting when people go to like the University of Iowa. There's a lot of writers that go up there specifically. I believe they have obviously they have a great program. And then from there, Lovelace was Trinidad and Tobago's artistic director for the Caribbean Festival of Arts, which was held in his country in 1992, 1995, and 2006. He's very well renowned. The book that I read by him, that introduced me to his work, is Salt. That one, if you've ever read Salt, it is a very, how we were just talking about Trinidadian dialect and how it's sing-songy. There is a lot of dialect in that book that gives a lot of Caribbean history. When I read it, again, maybe I shouldn't have been reading it, so I'm doing a reread soon. So I can always report back with concrete thoughts. But I believe, honestly, it was a very interesting book to approach, but I did enjoy the writing. It is one of those, it's like a specific time period type of writing. Like how we say like Baldwin, or who else? I'm trying to think about who comes to mind in that time period. In one of those categories.
You've been saying Baldwin a lot. You need to pick up one of his books.
I do. Actually, I've been thinking about it.
You miss y'all.
I do. I thought about rereading Giovanni's Room. Anyways, but yeah, pretty much. He comes from, his children are all artists. His daughter illustrated the jacket of the 1997 U.S. edition of Salt. His son is the director of photography for his short story, A Brief Conversation, and editor of that. And also an art director. His other daughter is not environmentalist, but it also is an artist, and her mother is an environmentalist that is pretty well renowned within the world of environmentalism. And yeah, I think this is someone that everybody should try to read his discography, because he doesn't get as well. I shouldn't say he doesn't get enough praise. I'm tired. Catalog, guys.
Okay, backlist. So
his backlist. There we go. But yeah, go ahead and read some Earl Lovelace, y'all. Especially Caribbean Heritage Month is coming.
I'm gonna get her off this here computer now. If you have any book recommendations for us, or if you have an author you think that we should show praise to in the next few episodes, let us know. You can email us at theleagueofreaderspod@gmail.com. You can find us on the interwebs at the League of Readers, on Instagram, Threads. That's really all where we are, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye, friends.
Hey, guys.